with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Everybody had a chance to peruse the
Dan,
minutes? Yes.
microphones.
Oh, I can't hear.
Furnace is running, we can't hear you.
I just turned it down, so
Oh.
it should cut off here in a second.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. You're gonna have to pretend it's Mike night.
There we go.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Speak into it.
Someone wants to see me.
You can take it out of his hand if you want.
Yeah. Okay. Has everybody had a chance to peruse the minutes on November 13th? If so, I would entertain a motion to accept them. We have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Everybody looked at the agenda. Any comments on the agenda?
I like the clock.
Clock?
Purchase a clock.
Oh, I'm working on that,
If
so.
about 4 or 5 people have done such a nice job, how come there's no clock?
Well,
Okay.
that was, still need to find one.
Okay.
So,
Good, good. That's easy enough.
Yep.
yes, that is.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 that, it's really nice, too bad it's not a clock.
Maybe I don't want you to know how long you've been here, because I know you're having a great time.
So then I'd accept the motion to approve the agenda. Motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carried. We would have time for the public comment on the agenda items at this time. Anyone? Okay, we'll move on. Supervisor's report. That would be me. I feel I need to address what happened last month at our meeting, and so I'm going to. We had a great board meeting. It was awesome. We enjoyed our new facility until the last 3 minutes when someone was disgruntled about the rental of our building. Just a few things about that. It was public comment time. It wasn't time for me to respond. It's also not a time for us to blow off the head of steam. I hope that we can operate with more civility in the future. I was totally surprised because I knew nothing about it. I think it was planned that way to get the most effect, the biggest impact, and probably in the paper. Once a person gets to a point where he feels justified in his anger, there's really nothing to be said. And that's why I said nothing, part of the reason. It's their anger. They're just trying to bully and destroy what we're trying to do here. We're trying to create a good neighborly community, and I'm always open. If someone wants to call me, my phone number is listed. I wish he would have called me before the meeting and we would have had a conversation that would have been more civil. And the last thing I have to say is it was uncomfortable, but I'd rather have someone do that to me during a meeting and have them run around and make all kinds of evil comments and stuff to the neighbors. So it wasn't a bad thing. It was a bad thing, but it wasn't a bad thing that he confronted me instead of just backstabbing and stuff. And that's all I have to say about that. hopefully we can move ahead and things will be done in business. We have a vacancy on the Planning Commission. I have a person that is interested, and I have not had enough time with him to really determine whether I should appoint him yet, but we have that in the works. I have had several people apply to be on the Parks and Rec Committee. It looks like a good cross-section from both Coral and Truffin towns. I think we need to maybe look at identifying the scope of what parks and stuff. But it looks like some good people. The civil infractions blight ordinance that we put together has well, we've moved a little bit ahead, but we really have nobody as a civil infractions officer. If you know anybody that would fill that position, or if you wish to fill it yourself, please. We need somebody badly. And that's all I have right now. Treasurer's report?
Can I add to what you just said?
Yes, please do. Oh, yeah.
In regards to the code enforcement, could we put it upon you that if someone comes about between now and the next meeting, you can go ahead and appoint them? Is that already established? If not, I'd like to establish it, because the longer we wait, there just really isn't being anything done at this time. And we put the ordinance in place, and I feel like we have to start moving forward with it.
Can I ask a question on that also?
Kind of needs to be approved by the board, doesn't it? After appointing, they have to be approved by the board.
We can always call a special
We
meeting.
can call a special
I mean,
meeting.
if you have
Okay.
somebody that
Yep.
does.
So
then-
let's put that. We'll do that. If I
Okay.
have someone, we'll do a special meeting right away and jump right on that. How's that?
I think that's something that obviously needs to be done in a timely fashion. And again,
Yeah.
I appreciate
that would be the
because
reason to
I
have
feel
a
like we
special
just
meeting.
Yeah, this needs to start, we need to get on to that. Yep, thank you.
Sure. About that, can I ask a question? Does it have to be from our township?
No.
Okay, that could make a difference too in being able to find somebody. I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Miranda?
Okay. Before I start the reading off of the numbers, just to review, we did close all of the tax accounts at Community First Credit Union and did move them to Mercantile Bank. We were able to open that up successfully, and we have that running. We do have a couple of CDs that I know I'd spoken at the last meeting, I was going to roll them over, but it was best to wait until the end of a quarter, just because of how they, the interest, how they post that. So I was waiting until the end of December, start of January. So the general fund checking at Community First, it started with a beginning balance of $632,141.02. Had an ending balance of $636,630.45. The ARPA fund at Community First had a beginning balance of $69,025.37 and has an ending balance of $29,955.06. We have a cemetery trust CD at Community First that has $704.53 in it. We also have a fire equipment CD at Community First with a balance of $34,045.36. We have a cemetery trust savings account at Independent Bank that has $9,757.24. We have a cemetery trust CD at Independent Bank with a balance of $4,373.89. We have a cemetery trust CD at Independent Bank with a balance of $4,564.36. We have a general fund savings account with $10 in it. We closed all of the Community First tax accounts. We have a tax checking account at Mercantile Bank that right now has $0 in it, but that's what I will be adding to. We have a tax money market account that we were able to open with them that has 5.58% interest. So that currently has a balance of $41,267.86. And we have the general fund CD at Mercantile Bank now with a 5.28% interest, and that has $107,568.95. The reason we opened the tax checking account with a backup of the money market account is the tax money market account has an interest rate of 5.58%. So as we collect taxes, it will go in that account to draw the higher interest. Then I'll move it out to the checking account as I have to pay it out to the entities, so that we are making as much money on our money as possible while we hold it. Anybody have any questions?
Which ones, you said you have a couple that are coming, the CDs that are coming?
Yep, so the
At the
CDs
end?
at Independent Bank, after the end of this quarter, so after December 31st, will be the best time to roll them over or change them, because interest is essentially added to it quarterly. So if you interrupt the CD in the middle of that quarter, you actually will have forfeited what you were gaining on it. So the one actually comes due on the 17th of this month, so I'll be able to do that one then. But
Are you
after that,
looking-
we'll wait until the quarter.
Are you looking at keeping it independent, or are you looking at other banks to see who
I
gives us
will,
the best rate?
I will look at all of the banks to see who gives us the best rate. As long as Independent Bank is competitive, I would like to leave it there. Reason being is we have some pretty large balances in our other banks, and I would hate to, I don't really like having over 250,000 in there. That's where you're FDIC insured, so I don't mind keeping it split up.
That's great.
Any questions on it? That's all I have.
Cool.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
We have motion and support. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And can I add one more thing to that? If I get
No,
hit
you're
by-
done.
If I get hit by a train, we just found out that the CD that we took out of Fifth Third Bank, that we had to wait a little bit to access, that money has sat there, looking back, over a year without gaining any interest, not a dime, because the CD had rolled over, so it doesn't gain interest until somebody does something with it. So it's important that if I get hit by a train, somebody makes sure that these CDs keep moving forward.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of money sitting there, and we should make sure that it's making us money.
That was why I didn't get any. Thank you. We got to review the bills.
And I will say that there is 2 additional checks that are not listed on there because, and I wrote them on yours, the audience does not have them, but check number 9514 to Montcalm MTA for $60 for meals for tomorrow night's meeting. And then 9515 is the road commission. The caveat to that is that was money taken out of the surplus line, because this is for a bill from 2021. So the road commission has gone through 3 different software upgrades. They sent me a whole thing that I've been working on it for the last 2 months, of This is all of the stuff from 2021 through current, and we were trying to figure out how this one got missed. Still not sure, but it was supposed to be paid in 2021 because it was for the third application of chloride in September of 2021. So that was for $10,731.68. So I did just confirm that, and then I had Miranda, since we were doing that, I wanted to get that off the books and done before the end of the year for the road commission. So the new total of bills being paid this month is $45,578.64 with the addition of those two checks. But I wanted everybody to know that the bill that we're paying to the road commission is not coming out of the current operating funds. It's coming out of the surplus funds that are the stock tax money that has been sitting in a bucket, kind of hanging out and doing nothing forever. So it's not coming out of this year's taxes. But now we will be completely squared, and every bill with the road commission will have been, is up to date and paid. So
I'll
on,
make a motion to approve the bills as written,
all right,
with, well, as the handwritten too at the end as well.
with the additions, yes, okay.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second, any more questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's go on. Clerk's report. Go ahead.
Do I need to use the microphone, or can you all hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, I mean, I can use the mic if you want, I'm absolutely comfortable with that. The new rental rates for forms are online for the community center, and along with the calendar, you'll see on the calendar I have plugged in dates. The only thing I haven't done is plug in that, and the new rates go into effective January 1st of 2024, and your reservation is not held until a deposit is put in. First thing on the rental reservation is, hey, if you want to rent it, not use it, large difference, then you will fill out a form, and if you haven't filled out a form and it's not on file with us and there's no deposit, your date is not held. So, the other part of that is currently rentals, nobody has called for February yet, but February 17th through February 28th are kind of on hold because we're still waiting on confirmation from the county about early voting. If for some reason the county backs out and doesn't want to do early voting, then we have to have 9 days of early voting here, 8 hours a day, covering 2 separate weekends, which would be February 17th and then the following weekend. But during that time, our location has to be secured, meaning only election workers are in and out. So that means we wouldn't be able to rent our facility because obviously we do our voting here. So I'm hoping that we get something from the county very soon to confirm that they will be, in fact, doing the early voting, but as of this afternoon, I don't have anything. The presidential primary election will be Tuesday, February 27th. If you signed up to get a ballot for every election, meaning you're on the permanent ballot list, that you didn't want to tell us that you wanted one, that you just want a ballot sent to you every single time that there's an election, we'll be sending information out by the end of this month regarding that, because we have to know which ballot you want. If you want to vote Democratic, if you want to vote Republican, or if you just want one with the proposals on it. Not my wheelhouse. I don't really care to know how you vote or what your deal is, but that is the law, and the actual MCL will be printed on the back of that form so everyone can read it and know that I'm not just being nosy Noserton, it's actual election law. And if you're interested in working as an election worker, please get with me or Susan, my deputy clerk, to get an application. Training dates are still being yet to be determined by the county, and because we're not sure, again, still not sure how many people we'll have to provide if the county does early voting, or if we end up doing early voting, we have to have 3 people for 9 days for 8 hours a day. And so if you're interested, yay, come work with us. It's so much fun. It changes every day. You never know, so it's always an adventure. And last but not least is the newsletter is on the website that came with your tax bills. So if you haven't opened your tax bill, please do so, at least to look at the newsletter. I mean, you might not want to look at your tax bill, but you can look at the newsletter. So, and that is my report, and I hope everyone enjoyed the community celebration that we had on Saturday that got to attend. And maybe we'll do another one next year. So, that was it.
Thank you. We have a report from the county commissioner, no, he's not here. Report from the planning commission. No chairperson.
No chairperson. We worked on the short-term ordinance, and we have it to be typed up, and then we'll go over it next month, and it'll go to you guys to go to the lawyer. Still working on the trailer and haven't started the auxiliary dwelling. Our regular schedule meeting is next month. I'm not sure why we're only on for a year. It's kind of gonna be difficult if you guys wanna keep these ordinances up. I don't even know how, I looked back at the minutes and I didn't see anything in a board that said we were going to 4. I don't even remember how we ended up at 4 a year.
That was done last,
It was done Robin brought a calendar out and said we go to 4 a year. I don't know why. I don't know why it happened. Just, that's how it was done when you brought the paper out that day. So I don't know if you guys decide or if we can go to regular meetings until we have the ordinance caught up, how that should
we
be.
did 4 a year because thinking that the planning commission can still work even though regardless that they don't have a meeting. They can still communicate back and forth as long as 3 of you are not communicating in the same thread. You're not violating open meeting act.
Yeah, I just don't
So-
understand how to get the work done that way.
So, and then you just divide it up.
I mean, if you guys don't want us at 12 a year, I guess that's your decision, if that's the way it goes. I just think it's kind of hard for us to get something finalized as a team, because we can't all talk together and everything like that. So, I don't know who makes that decision, if you can tell us and we can talk about it at our next meeting, but if it's us that makes that decision or you guys,
Well, that's determined by the board.
We have to do something about every other month too, instead of going, stretching out the tree.
That's what I was just thinking.
We were gonna mention that too.
yeah, so
You
just,
guys can call special meetings and do that at this point until we make a decision as a board to.
Yeah, you
6
have the
times a year.
authority to call special meetings every month if you want.
If you do, or you can call.
Like you're in the middle of something that's important.
right, that's why I'm just trying to get clarification on how it is, because we just went from a meeting every month, all of a sudden here you guys are only having 4 a year. And then all of a sudden it's like we need these ordinances that we don't have, so our hands are tied. And we might be able to talk, I might be able to talk to Robin, but if we can't all talk together to make a decision, it's,
So while they're working on.
Yeah, I
it,
would-
they
I would-
can
I
meet
would-
every month.
I would
Yeah.
call a special meeting every month until you're done with
Until
these
you're done with
ordinances,
it.
yeah, because you got a job to do. That'd be a great idea.
all right, well, thank you for the clarification,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it was like
You're
unsure.
allowed to call your own meetings. Regular meetings.
Okay,
Okay?
yep, thank you for clarification on that.
Yep.
But that's where we're at next month. We should be able to hand over to you an ordinance to go to the, I'm assuming it goes to the lawyer to make sure the wording is right, because we're all
Yep.
new, other than Lee, we're all new.
Okay.
Please
Thank you
hold.
very much. That's right. You're a long ways from New Lee.
No, he heard my last comment.
Oh, I didn't hear what she said. Can you say it in the mic?
I just said Lee's old. You asked.
I should have known better than that. Zoning administrator, what's your report say?
For the month of November, there weren't any permits issued. And I made a update on last month's, October's. I found a permit in the bottom of my briefcase, and when I was cleaning it out, I found it, so I went ahead and added another monthly report looking at, on the top, it says 10/23. That's because it should have been turned in last month, and that was for 14800 West Stanton Road. That was for a pole barn extension and a lean-to extension, which I did turn in the permit tonight. Okay, Andy, so, other than that, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Community center report?
Well, I kind of covered it in my clerk's one, but again, yeah, should have saved that stuff. I'll update the website so that, like I said, I was hoping I'd get something from the county today that said to get our contract so that I wouldn't have to block off half of February for voting. Because I really don't want to. But other than that, we've already had a couple people come and look at the facility. They put a deposit down for June, and we've had a couple others that have come and looked at it and inquired about different dates throughout the summer. And we're very excited about all the changes and lots of positive feedback. So they were just waiting to get back with their other halves to find out what they were. So that was nice to be inquired about a birthday party. So lots of fun stuff happening.
Any feedback from the county on renting building?
We will get that on Thursday. He's talking about the building next door. So they said they would let me know, because I have going to the road commission meeting on Thursday about the road commission projects for next year that they're proposing.
Okay, thank you. Fire board?
Fire board, there was one run in Maple Valley last month, 13 total. Probably the most interesting thing going on is we're adding some overhead doors to the back side of the Station 2, which is in Truthville, so that the grass rigs don't have to have other equipment moved out of the way to respond. They can just pull out and roll. So fire authority agreed to put those doors in, and we're gonna hire somebody, the bids have already been done. So there'll be doors on by summer, and that'll be a cool addition, just the response time. As far as the tenders, they're still in process. I don't even expect them to be done for 3 months. Everything's slow going, but they're being built, so.
How many firefighters do we have that man the Truthville station?
I don't know, I can find out though.
I'm just curious how many, because I know that we lost quite a few people that, when they closed Coral, that didn't stay on. So I'm just curious to know how many were actually
I can get a head
still
count.
on. Yeah, I'd like that.
Thank you, sir. Cemetery coordinator?
We had one burial in Truppen since our last meeting. That's it.
How's the new software?
I know. I had a lot of jokes about how short this list is, but I didn't go through it. I just spoke with them, I think on Friday. They just wanted to verify the size of our lots
Okay.
in both cemeteries. They're still moving forward with the mapping, but we haven't received anything yet to where we could work on. Yeah, they're still building.
Did they
that.
give you a timeline as to when you should have that done?
No. No. But we also told them during this time, this period, we weren't in a rush either. So.
Thank you. And we'll go on to old business. We'll get cemetery driveway there. Update?
Just wanted to update everybody to let you know that Pleasant Valley did accept he was excited that we chose him, but he said due to the weather and everything, he would rather hold off till the spring to do the work, so that it held better when he went ahead and then.
That's what you said.
Yep, and he said,
Concerned.
yep, and so he said he will just get back with us in the spring, and we'll start then, once probably frost is out. So just wanted to let everybody know
Probably a better plan.
that, it's still gonna happen, it just won't happen until spring.
Garage ceiling repairs, you got,
Before, I know that I'm still waiting on one person to come to kind of give us a quote on the repairs of the ceiling in there, but I think before we move forward, we need to decide or come up with some ideas of what do we wanna do with the space before we have them do the repairs. Are we turning it into a meeting space? Are we gonna keep the garage overhead doors? Do we wanna drop the ceiling so that eventually we could put in, ductwork for a furnace out there? So I think that's something that we probably should all think about and come back with a couple ideas of what are our intentions for that space. I know Miranda had said something about
I brainstormed an idea.
maybe,
So we had a lot of pictures and stuff out, we had pictures and stuff out here prior to the remodel, and there were pictures up front prior to the remodel. We've taken a lot of that down, well, we've taken all of it down, but we've had several people in the community ask, where are those items, and what are we going to do with them, are we going to put them back up? I don't think that this space here is appropriate for putting them back up, because we're going to be renting this space out, and that really just doesn't fit the decor. But the garage space over there, since we don't use it for anything, I'd like to look at remodeling it as a Maple Valley Township Museum. So we could put some of the historical pictures and things that we have from around the area, put it in that area there. It would be secure. It would be, we wouldn't have to add to the current footprint that we have. I don't know what the cost would be yet on it. Obviously, that's something we have to look at and take into consideration. But if we have to do something with that space anyways, I feel like it would be a good use.
Well, we certainly don't have fire trucks in there anymore.
It's true. So just asking for you guys to kind of brainstorm and come back with some, maybe you guys have different ideas of what you'd like to do with it, or, but I thought,
Doesn't it have its own restroom?
yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
So that was another thought that we had, is possibly making it another, along with putting the pictures out there, but also making it a smaller space, rentable space, because we can make it a one-stall handicapped bathroom, family accessible bathroom out there, with a little remodel, and then charge less, make it a $50 for a half day, or $50 for a day, or something,
More of a meeting room.
yeah, more of a
style.
meeting room style, not a large venue like this where you'd have, maybe something where you'd have a small retirement party, a small baby shower, a small,
Bingo for the old people.
I'm so sorry, I forgot the bingo for the old people, or some cards, or,
I just stumbled across the bingo machine in the back.
I know,
the other
it's
day.
sitting there, it's begging to be used. So,
No speed tablets, so no place to else, but Howard City, allow them, don't like to drive that far, they're kind of.
well, actually, Howard City got rid of their, oh, no, wait, they have that senior center in downtown, that's right, they do that, but, so that was, something to think about, is making it a smaller space, that maybe there could be a senior night, or something, just,
Because both those overhead doors are pretty good shape, the one's almost brand new.
They
Yeah.
are, I
So-
hate to just pull them out and do nothing with them, because
So,
they are. in good
I'll
shape.
probably put them out, maybe advertise for sale, maybe somebody want one of their garages or sheds or something. That'll be a little more money towards repairing it, putting good doors in, just one entry door and stuff,
so, I wanted us to kind of have a discussion, and maybe.
So is that something we would like to do? Another venue / historical museum or something?
I think it'd be a good idea, because there's a lot of people.
Should we
have
move
asked
forward with
about
seeing
the-
what it would cost and stuff like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because a lot of people ask about the pictures, some are quite upset that they're not
Yeah.
paying.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And we have some funds coming for the repair portion of it. So what we really want to make sure that we do is, if we're making the repairs, we're making them to fit whatever we're going to do with it in the future. So,
As a future project.
as a future project.
So not diving in right now, but just making the ceiling repaired to the point of, okay, yep, we have it now, so it's gonna fit what we want it to be
In the future.
in the future. So, if you guys wanna go out there and ponder, look at it, take some mental pictures, I don't care,
So, good.
so.
maybe most we look, move forward looking into see what it costs to fix it up.
Okay.
Do we have a second to that?
I'll second.
as in pointing towards like a museum.
Well, museum rental area and
Yep.
stuff, all in one, yep.
Okay, okay. Any discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Can you refresh my memory as to what how much insurance money we have? Do you know? off the top of your head?
It's right around $12,000 is what it was.
That's kind of what I thought, I'm just thinking through the money.
Does that area access the kitchen?
No, I mean, no, so we would be able to, there is a
Well,
door,
through,
there's through, but that's through that storage room, so I
Yeah.
don't think we really want
not really.
John Q. Public having access to that, once we get that redone for other storage stuff, but it could be shut off so that it would be its own separate entity. So it wouldn't have access to the kitchen per se. But that was one of the things that we talked about, is maybe putting where the bathroom exists, there's water right there, so we could put maybe a little sink and a countertop out there with so if you wanna make coffee.
Do you have a brainstorm, like an idea what you're thinking out there? Is that, oh, come on, share it.
Share it, come on.
He's
Smirking.
smirking. That's a smirk, that's not even a smile.
That's just how it goes.
Fair enough.
Good. Code enforcement citation book. Do you have any information on that?
I'll let you take that one, Marina.
So, as part of our municipal infraction, every citation that we would want to write has to be individually numbered. And in order to do so and to look more professional, it should be printed with the Maple Valley Township information, and it should also have duplicates. So, whatever somebody writes on it, there can be no misinterpretation as to what you gave them. So there's a duplicate is whatever we write on it and hand them. So we can order a code enforcement citation book. You'd think I would have brought a price, but I didn't, because we just discussed it prior to coming here for just a moment. I was looking through the ordinance, and it popped up that we would need one. So I can't imagine they would be very much.
I can tell you that the ones I looked at, that like our 3 duplicate receipt books that we got, they were around $55 to $60-ish, because they did make,
I was gonna ask
Is
up
that
to
with custom
$100.
printing?
yeah.
I was gonna ask for up to $100 to
Yeah, because that was just one
order
source.
a code enforcement, a citation book,
Numbered.
numbered with our Maple Valley Township information on it.
What you have to say?
Okay, I have quite a few of your township, and you have to have triplicates, not duplicates, because one has to be mailed out to the violation person. One, the zoning guy keeps it, and you have to take one to the courthouse and file it with the
I
clerk.
appreciate you letting us
Okay.
know that. yeah.
Thank you.
And I've
So
got
in
probably
We
triplicate.
want triplicates,
4 or
okay.
5
Okay.
books.
And that's what our
And it's
3
gotta be
receipt books are.
approved by the court, you know. Yeah, I can bring it in or give it to somebody, you can copy it off there and just put those books.
Make-
The ones I have is the same for every township, only difference is one's checked off as a violation. It's kind of a universal, it's made for, you know, speeding and this and that, same thing the cops use, but, and they're, like I said, there's a space to write it down
be
and
able
all
to
that,
write
but
it in
it is supposed to be approved by, I don't know, the courts or something, so.
Well, we'll have to make sure that that happens then before we actually order it. We'll have to do
Okay.
a little bit of research.
Well, we can, that might affect the price. We want to designate some money right now, so we can go ahead and do that.
I cannot imagine it'd be over $100, so I'd like to designate up
Okay.
to $100 to order a citation book. We're just trying to make sure we get all of the things in place that as soon as we get a code enforcement officer, we can make them successful by.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for that, $100.
I'll second Miranda's motion that she just made that I wrote out. Purchase a number two.
So that was the motion, huh?
Yep, that was the
That was a
motion.
long-winded motion. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise? Carried. Is there anything else you want to say about that? Okay. New business, adoption of the cemetery ordinance, rules and regulations. We have those written down here.
So those were emailed to you guys about 3 weeks ago, after the attorney looked at everything that Julie so diligently worked on. They did recommend that we give it a new ordinance number, which it will be ordinance 33, because ordinance 12 was our original cemetery ordinance, and it was only, how big was it, Julie? Like a page. It wasn't even, yeah. And so this is much more comprehensive and make sure it covers all of the things for cemeteries, which our other one did not. And also it mentions the rules and regulations, and it ties to it, so it means that we can actually enforce the rules of the cemeteries because it's tied to the ordinance now. So that's what I sent you guys to review, and I didn't hear any feedback from you guys. It's a lot of stuff, but like I said, we took it from our cemetery maintenance, or cemetery management class that we went through, and from MTA, because this is one of their samples that they had. And then we also sent it to the attorneys, and she said it was great and very comprehensive, so.
The one thing that I had a question on, and I'm not saying I don't agree, that no memorial shall be over 5 feet tall.
That is very typical.
Is it?
Yes.
Not recently though.
So,
Couldn't even put a statue up for me.
no, well, they can, it'd just be a mini statue. It'd be a miniature.
Bury your beard.
Yeah, see, there we go. It's just a bust. It can't be life size.
There we go.
If you're 4'9", then yes, it could be life size. That's true, so.
Well, I'm sorry, I may have read it and don't remember.
Well, like I said, I sent it
Yeah.
quite a while ago, so.
Yeah.
So, I would like to make a motion that we adopt cemetery ordinance number 33 along with the rules and resolutions for Maple Valley Township, Coral, and Trucca cemeteries.
We have a motion and we have a second. Is there any more discussion on this? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye. Let's do a roll call vote. I'm sorry, I should have said that to you first. A roll call vote for adopting of an ordinance, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Miranda?
Yes.
Lee? Yes. Andy?
Yes.
Tim? Yes. I'll say yes too. And thank you for all your work, Julie.
You are welcome.
Oh, next is our MVT, Maple Valley Township Education Policy that you wrote up and we want to take a look at.
I took some stuff out of the policies and procedures book and.
Is that where you got it?
And
From MTA?
Yep. And when I sent it to you guys, I also sent you all the stuff from MTA, like of all the recorded webinars and things that are included. We paid for the all-inclusive the plus package is what we paid for as far as that. So we have everything online that we can utilize as well.
I had read it, and the one thing that I would like to add to it or to consider adding to it is any class over a certain amount, dollar-wise, should have to be approved by the board, in my opinion. So if I wanted to go to a class that pertained
Oh,
to
that's a great idea.
treasures, and it's in California at a beautiful resort, I just don't feel like I should be able to take it upon myself to choose to go to that class. So any class over a set dollar amount, and we can discuss whatever dollar amount that is, should have to be approved by the board.
So that would be for the in-person educational classes, and then up to.
In person and online. So
Oh, yeah.
any class that
Yeah, because
anyone
the
on the,
college offers
yeah.
out.
That is true.
Yep.
So any class that we want to attend over a set dollar amount, I feel should have to be approved by the board. Does anybody have any feedback on that?
I think that's a great idea.
Does anybody want to throw out there a dollar amount? Okay, I will.
I love the fact that you come prepared, Miranda. Thank you.
Even if we made it a flat dollar amount of $100, any class that's over $100 should have to be approved by the board. Does anybody want to set that higher or lower?
Feel like it is.
I would say we may want to go like 150, or because some of the classes, I mean, that are just day ones,
Mhm.
I mean, then we would be approving absolutely every single class at this point. Because some of them are, I mean, I guess, I don't know, maybe 125? I'm just thinking about some of the classes that let me, I have some of the stuff here, so let me look real quick. So like board of review, so let's use this for an example of the training that they have, because they have several different ones. Let me find the price here. Okay, the early bird rate is $100 for this particular one. Then the regular rate is after, it's 3 weeks before the event date, then it goes to 125, and then the late rate is 150.
Mhm.
So maybe $100 is, I mean, like I said, that's just for this one, and then this other one for board review is, well, this one doesn't really, because this one's per township, not per person, so that really doesn't hold a lot of weight. The capital experience, again, the discounted rate is 85, and then it's 105 for regular and 125 if you pay when you get there.
So even if we went to 125, my reason for wanting to put the limit is, I don't think anybody here would do anything excessive, but I just feel like we need to address it so that it can happen.
So 125?
125.
Okay.
And that's looking forward to the next generation.
Mhm. And it's a dollar amount that'll probably have to be reviewed in the future as things get more expensive. but-
Okay. Okay, so adding in any class, in person or online, over 125.
Mhm.
Must have board approval. Okay.
Want to read that back to us?
So we're just adding any class over, any in-person or online class over $125 must have board approval. $125 tuition, I guess I should say, or registration fee. And we just add that in to, like this second paragraph.
Mhm.
Any other discussion? I entertain a motion.
Motion accepted as written.
Second?
We have a motion, second. Any more, as amended, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We need to set date for budget workshop.
Yes. Our annual meeting will be March 30th, 2024, because that's the last Saturday of the fiscal year. What does everybody think about March 2nd for a budget workshop? to go over the proposed budget.
March 2nd?
Yay, nay, March 2nd, March 9th. Is it- March 2nd is the first Saturday.
First Saturday of March.
Or do you want to do it in an evening? Which would be better for, I mean, it doesn't have to be on a Saturday, it can be whenever we want, because we're setting it up,
Yeah,
so.
yeah. At what time would you say?
You each got it, 9, didn't we?
9 or 10, I mean, it doesn't matter.
I like 9.
What about you, Tim? That work?
Doesn't matter.
I hope you're gonna be there, right?
Yeah.
Well, you said it doesn't matter very quickly.
It's gotta be done, so just
Yeah,
pick a time
okay.
of day and we'll do
9
it.
o'clock, March 2nd, how's that? You can vote on that?
How does everyone feel about having, I say Blaine, but I can't remember the name of the company.
I always get it, it's Trusted Solutions.
Yeah, Trusted Solutions, who has helped us, she helped us with our budget last year, and has helped us with some QuickBooks items. She has a lot of experience with township budgets. If we had her come to that meeting, she may be able to help guide us on a few things, because the items that I want to make sure that we address are, right now, and in the last couple of years, we've had a lot of money sitting in the bank. But as we move forward through some of this, we want to make sure that everything we commit to, we will be able to sustain with the revenue that we'll have coming in the future. And I would like her to be able to speak to us about that. So what our expected revenue is going to be in the next couple of years is not going to be the amount that we currently have sitting in the bank. Because the money that we have now has built up over the last several years. And we just want to make sure that what we're committing to and what we're putting in our budget in the future is sustainable. I know we currently have some money already set aside for time with her, it's already in our budget. If we haven't used up that time already, I think that would be a good use of it, is to be able to have her come talk to us about the budget at the workshop, even for just a little bit.
I'm in favor of it.
I'll second your motion. Do we want to have her for what, 1 hour, 2 hours? Do you want to delineate the time, or do you want to just,
How long was our last budget workshop?
3 hours?
I'd say 3 hours.
3
then.
hours.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't here for the
I would
last
say
budget
have her here the
workshop.
whole time. She's a valuable resource. Any other discussion? Well, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, coming down, 3 minutes into this thing so far. Annual conference registration.
I sent you guys information about the annual conference. Just wanted to remind you that registration for that, it's April 22nd through the 25th. And if you are considering going or wanting to go, registration for it opens January 3rd. Sorry, I was just looking to make sure, yeah. April 25th, or 22nd through the 25th. And it is in Traverse City. So if you guys, they haven't released all of the stuff yet, but that will be at the end of, towards the end of the month. And as soon as I get it with all the classes that they're offering, I will forward it on to you so you can look at that and determine if it's something you'd like to attend.
And do they have an early,
Yeah, so,
price?
yeah, and I don't have that in front of me because it's usually by the beginning of February.
Okay.
So, but as soon I'll email you guys all the information, but like, I just wanted to remind you so it was fresh in your mind that that's coming up. So if you're thinking about it,
Is that 2 days or 3 days?
depends on which classes you would like to attend. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 2.5, or you can go up for the day, depending on which ones you'd like to go attend.
try, I'm gonna try to make it this year.
So,
And you would like to go to clerk school?
yes, I would like to go to clerk school. I'll be getting you guys information because it's March 17th through the 22nd. It would be
Good.
Susan and I, our second year. That was very invaluable. I have information for you for the treasurer's school. Which you're going, thanks, I don't want to know.
Actually, I would.
I don't know if they do the same thing, but I know that they have their own association that they do stuff, so I just wanted to let you guys know that I'll be bringing a proposal at the January meeting about March, because they're sending out all the stuff for that pretty soon. But I was waiting to find out about voting stuff first. So,
We have a spring cleanup date set for Saturday, April 27th. You got the prices on that yet, or no?
I believe it's gonna be the same price that we did for the fall. It was $600 a dumpster. The same company has offered to do it again, and they would do it again for an additional 2 hours, like we did in the fall one because of the inclement weather, so.
Did we like that this time?
I think they're good.
I think it was a good
A
one.
lot easier on us.
Yes.
I liked that everything was taken out that day.
Yeah.
Nothing sat in
Yeah.
the parking lot.
We had people picking out the dumpsters last time.
So, and I like that they took it as it got full. So that was kind of nice. We ended up with, utilizing 9 dumpsters, which was incredible. And we probably could have been on our 10th if we would have
Had them,
had them. But, well, yeah,
if
so,
we'd had the time.
yeah. So,
It's money well spent.
just wanted to let you guys know about it. And then the next thing is board of review training. I just got that information. So I'm gonna send it out to the board of review members, because there's online and in person through MTA. And then there is one that is in person that the Mecosta County Assessors Association puts on, and it's a full day. I don't know, an evening or a morning on 2 different days, but it's $50 per township. It's not per person, it's just you pay $50. If you send one person or 10 people, it's the same price. And I know we had a couple of the members went to it last year for that one, but I just wanted to let you guys know that that stuff's going out to the board of review, because March is their time to shine. When they have
All the stuff,
all the stuff. I don't-
all the classes. Good. Time for now for public comment. Anybody? Yes.
I tried to go online on the website to look at the annual meeting minutes from last March. I couldn't find them for one. I didn't see anything listed annual meeting, so I clicked on March. And when I did, it clicked me right off the website and says I have to have a logon to be able to see the minutes or the agenda on the website. I did it again just before I came tonight to clarify. I can see everything else on there. Could print out any form, I could do anything, but it says that I have to have a special logon to be able to see the minutes and the agenda.
Only for that meeting or other meetings?
Oh, nothing, I couldn't see nothing, there's nothing on the website for the annual meeting. There's nothing labeled annual meeting, and then there was one listed.
Nothing ever was on there before, that's why.
Okay, well, I don't know, had something in my head I wanted to look up, and I thought it was at that meeting, so I went to do it, and I thought, well, I don't see anything that says annual meeting, so I clicked on March, because I believe that's when it was, and when I did, it shut me right off the website, so I'm like, what the heck? I thought it was my computer. I signed back on, and when I went on it, there's a little thing down on the bottom right-hand corner that says log in. When I click up, it says put in a email address. I started with my personal email address, and then I even put in my PC email address. Wouldn't take nothing, says I don't have password or verification to see it. So I'm kind of
I would
hoping.
say, yeah, because that,
No, that's
the
public.
yeah, the login you wouldn't be able to log in, and you shouldn't have to log in to see minutes.
But I can see anything else on there. I can click on any of the other stuff up there. I told Robin when it first happened to me.
Or is it
No.
all months?
I don't know. I clicked on March, and that's when it shut me off and wouldn't let me on to see any minutes.
Okay, I'll
I can't see the minutes, I can't see the agenda. It says I have to log in to access the minutes or the agenda.
I've never logged into it, but I've downloaded the minutes from there a couple of times, so I'm wondering if there's just a fluke or something going on.
Right, that's
with it.
why I'm bringing it to your attention, that is, I don't know what went on, but it just shut me right off. And like I said, I thought first it was my computer.
Okay, I
We
will
will,
look at
we
that.
will address that.
And then
I will,
I have it up right here.
you brought up,
Yeah, I can log into it, but I don't have a login, so I wonder if it was just a glitch.
I don't know, it says I have to log in.
Yeah.
It happened a while ago, and I went back on today before I came tonight to double check. And it says that I have to log in. I mean, I'll gladly bring my laptop up for Andy to look at. I don't care, but it won't let
Well,
me.
It's happening to you, it's probably happening to other people
so
too,
I'll
so
have
we
to, so
need
it's
to
something, and
address
no one
that.
else has said anything, so, and I've got on it, but when I go in, I log in because I'm adding things to the website, so I'm not gonna see it that way.
Right. And at first it brought it up, but as soon as I clicked on March to pull up the minutes for March's meeting to see if the annual minutes were in there with March, it shut me right off.
Okay, well, I'm not sure, so I will contact our website, guy.
And then when you talked about the MVT educational policy, you really didn't say anything about what the policy was. You switched to the amount of money, and then you just jumped down to the workshop, that Andy wrote up the policy, but we never heard anything on what the policy was.
We didn't read it to you, yeah, I'm sorry.
The Maple Valley Township Education Policy. Maple Valley Township requires all elected board and/or appointed committee members, planning, zoning, zoning board of appeals, board of review, cemetery, to attend a minimum of 8 hours of township educational classes per calendar year. Classes can be in person or online. Maple Valley Township is a member of Michigan Township Association, which provides a multitude of educational opportunities throughout the year. Maple Valley Township is a premium past member of MTA, which includes more than 90 webinars. All elected and appointed members have access to the MTA Online Learning Center at no additional cost to the township. And then that's where we're adding in that if any class is over $125, that it has to, any class, in person or online, over $125 of registration fee must have board approval. For in-person educational classes, the township will pay for class tuition, mileage, hotels, if applicable, meals, for all classes pertaining to the individual's position held within the township. Mileage shall be reimbursed at IRS mileage rate. Mileage will be calculated from the township office in Coral to and from the location of the class. Mileage must be submitted to the clerk no later than 30 days after the travel for reimbursement. Meals will be reimbursed up to $30 a day if meals are not part of the class fees. Detailed receipts must be submitted to the clerk no later than 30 days after the occurrence for reimbursement. Hotel expenses shall be arranged through the clerk to utilize the township credit card for ease of payment. That is the education policy.
Thank you.
Yep. Any more comments? Yes, sir.
I'd like to thank everybody for what went on here Saturday, everybody involved. It was a lot of work. It was just a beautiful afternoon, and it was
It was
great.
amazing, wasn't it?
It was great.
It was
nice.
classy, it was,
I enjoyed it.
happy.
Absolutely. There's the word, classy.
yep.
Thank you. I would like to know if there's any update on the Judy Miller issue.
Oh, June Miller, for the post office box. We have put in with Sand Lake, with the Sand Lake postmaster, a change of address for the township itself, which we were told by the Trufen post office that we couldn't do. So I called Sand Lake and she said, no, you can. So we did a change of address for the township, changing our address permanently to P.O. Box 56 in Coral. And we did changes of address for mail that is addressed to Maple Valley Township and Maple Valley Township Treasurer for both P.O. Box 54, which is June Miller's personal mailbox, and the P.O. Box 91, which was the mailbox that Mary Ann Schwant opened up in her personal name during her tenure. So that should eliminate any more payments being
Made to them, sent to
made-
them?
sent to those P.O. boxes that are not that we have no
Okay.
authority over. So hopefully by the end of this tax cycle, we should have everything coming to the P.O. box in Coral so that nobody else is receiving any payments.
Okay. Any update on the Peterson Park situation?
We have,
Not that I'm
we
aware
haven't
of.
heard from the surveyor yet.
No, he's still working on that.
Is he working on the history of it, or is he look at?
He was working on the
surveying?
history of it and the surveying, and then I know there was also a question at the last meeting, whether or not, who actually has authority to speak on behalf of
Family.
the family. So, nothing that I'm aware of has been done with that portion of it.
One more question. Is there a date set for the electors meeting? I didn't know if that's later in the spring, or I see you got a bunch of dates on here for other stuff.
The annual meeting is March 30th.
That's the electors
Yes,
meeting
that's the annual meeting of the township.
of the electors. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
If there's somebody interested in the civil infraction officer, what do they, send you a letter, or do you guys have a resume, or a application for it, or
We
somebody
really
just
don't
speak?
have application systems set up yet. Mostly what we've been
Or would you
doing-
guys want resumes
Getting
from
named.
a person where you don't have?
Yeah, let's have a resume sent to the office here.
Okay.
Vicky?
First, thank you, Miranda, for looking out for our money and making sure that if it can make us money, it is.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate that. Is the internal audit complete?
I can speak to a little bit of that.
Thank you.
It is not, they're waiting on me. So she has sent me a request, and it's been tax time, so obviously my priority was we had to work through that first. I do have some information that I need to get her, but it is not complete.
Okay. Oh, Andy was talking about I think the primary election. Did I understand you right, that there's gonna be different ballots
That is correct. We
Yeah.
have a closed primary.
regarding whichever party you're voting?
That is correct.
Have we ever done that before?
For the primaries, yes.
For presidential
primary?
for presidential primary, I'm told that that is the way we've always done it. Personally, I feel like I've had a stroke and don't remember that.
I don't either.
Well, thank you, because I'm like,
I don't either.
When you come in, you have to tell them if you want a Democrat or a Republican ballot for the presidential. It's always been that way.
Yeah, when you come in, you
Only for the presidential one.
Right,
not
only for the
any other
presidential.
They mail out a Democrat and they
But
mail
now it's
out.
primary for
That
all,
is
now
wrong.
it's for all the primaries.
That's
No,
wrong.
only presidential. Only presidential primary.
That's just wrong.
Regular election.
Thank
I
those
don't-
that voted on it. It was on the ballot last year.
I don't
I
have
thought what
any,
was on the ballot was
But
the
the primary
dates.
for every other person?
The fine print, Vic.
Yeah.
It was
no
December.
primary for every,
Okay.
just for presidential. Presidential only.
Okay, so another question on your volunteers for like election for those 9 days or whatever. Does it have to be a whole day, or can you like do like one person for 4 hours, one person for 4 hours, or? I didn't know if there were like rules according to.
There isn't really rules on that. We like to keep it, if we can keep people for the same whole time, it's easier. Just because we have to sign in and out, and you have to have the oath of office, and especially for chain of custody of the poll book and signing on the voting machine, so that we have consistency. So I know I'm gonna be talking with a couple others that do split their days, and ask them how they do it, because I honestly don't know.
All right, and then on the cemetery, I know there was discussion about having something for like cremation urns. Has anything else been looked into on that?
You want to address that, Julie?
Yeah, there hasn't.
Okay.
Other than it cannot be biodegradable. Urns cannot be biodegradable because you're essentially
right,
then planting
right.
a tree. But
Right.
that's it.
But I know that there was discussion of having something to where multiple urns
Oh,
could be put in or
Yeah, we can
whatever.
do
Oh.
six per space. Yep, 6 urns per space, and then if you have a full burial, you can do 4 on top. So you can essentially bury 6 people or 5 people.
Okay, so it's still be buried. I thought in the discussion it
Yeah,
was
we were
like.
looking at a storage unit.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
that's
the
what-
columinarium.
Columbarium, yes.
No,
Yeah,
we
Fancy
have
word
not
for
been able to
storage.
throw a word on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, he's gonna change it to storage unit.
Storage unit. Well, that's pretty good.
That's
because
what it's
we're all
for.
getting
Accurate.
bored, so, return. Oh, and that classes over $100 the board has to vote on, is that for like classes above what's paid for in the package? Or
Yes.
it's classes in the package?
No, if
Above.
it's, because within that package that we pay for, that we have over 90 webinars and such that are included in that.
Okay.
We don't pay extra for those. It'd be anything that is not included within that package.
All right. And my last thing is, this is the first time I've seen the hall completed. It looks amazing, it looks great, it's like great improvement, very, it looks great.
Like we're in the
Lot
21st
of-
century?
Huh?
Like we're in the 21st century?
Oh, yeah. It's like, I was almost ready to see if they wanted my green colored stove and. Oh, and then ideas on the room that you guys were talking about? Do you wanna open that up to like the public and see if they have ideas, or just people in the meetings? We were
We
talking
were just
about-
talking about the 5 of us of just throwing around because we need to make a plan for the ceiling,
Right.
but obviously we're not opposed to.
And my last question is, do you rent out the kitchen for commercial, like baking?
Yes. It's
Is it a-
basically, we don't rent the facility, we haven't rented the kitchen separately. Basically, you're renting the whole thing because obviously it's all connected.
Oh, so you can't rent just the kitchen
You
for
can, I
commercial?
mean, you can, we
But it's
we
the
don't have a
same
price
price
for
as the
it.
whole
We haven't ever discussed the price.
We haven't
of that.
discussed a price for that, because honestly, if they're there, if they're here using the kitchen,
You can't rent this out.
There's really no room
There's-
outside.
there's no spot to stop and start, and if you're running a kitchen, you need a bathroom facility, well, the bathroom's in here, so.
All right, I guess I'll use the church. That's it.
Any more comments?
Thank you.
Robin?
Yeah, I too want to thank you. It was a fabulous day, Saturday for the Christmas celebration. Carrie Thompson told me she took over 100 pictures of kids with Santa. And that space is, I would love to see that happen in the garage part as far as a museum slash meeting room, whatever. That is a great idea. Is it tomorrow night at Ferris Township for the MTA meeting?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You said Thursday earlier, that's why the confusion.
Oh, did I? I don't know what.
Okay, and another question is, like, Tim or Ben Newell, do they get paid for being on that board, or?
Yes,
Fireboard.
So you're getting paid extra for being plus what you get here?
that's correct.
We don't pay that, I mean, as far as the township, and that's,
The fire board.
the
Fire board.
fire
Okay.
board does that separate.
Okay.
so.
So the fire board, the Trufant Fire Board pays,
Yeah.
okay.
So Ben did accept that position?
He did, he was at the meeting. The first time we ever had 2 representatives there since I've been sitting at the same time.
So does he not have to come give an update then?
No, I'm your spokesperson.
I thought it was in place of you, that's, I guess, where the
If he
confusion.
can't make
No, it's in
it, Ben
place of
has to
someone
show
else.
up.
Tim's always there.
Oh, any more, Robin?
I would
Okay.
just like to add to what Robin said and thank Robin and her husband for all of the help that they gave at
You're welcome.
at the event on Saturday. They were here early, they set things up. I told her, let me know at the end of the night if you need anything, because I had a meeting at 4, and she said, no, they had it taken care of. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. I enjoyed it. So, And so did my granddaughter.
Yes, she did.
What's that?
She's a great chair mover.
Yeah, she's kind of pushy.
She kind of
I
what?
don't know where she would've got that from.
Yeah.
What did you say she was?
Pushy.
Oh.
She moved some chairs and I went to move them afterwards. Oh my goodness. Give me a dirty look.
I think you should do it every year, every Christmas.
Jan, what, yeah,
The more often. it's done.
Well, I also want to thank everybody that worked so hard and put on the celebration on Saturday. It was very nice, very nice. I'm a little disappointed that there wasn't more people show up. I really anticipated there would be more, especially people who live right in the area. But it was very nice, well put on. I do want to say, this is kind of out there, but Andy, I heard you mention that you're going to be talking with the county commission about projects for next year.
The road commission,
The
yes.
road commission, does that also include the brining of roads?
Yes, they will kind of give us an update of where everything is at on
Okay.
that. Is there something you'd like me to take with me
Yes.
to that?
Yes. The brining they did this last year was subpar. It was really bad. We did get three.
Applicants.
Yeah, 3 applications, but it wasn't near what we've had before. They've always come through with 2 trucks at a time.
Yep.
And this time they only came through with 1 truck, and usually it was just mostly down the middle. It was not good.
I would say you're not the first one that has
I know.
mentioned that on the dirt roads. That
Well,
it's just,
we live on the dirt, so we know. So I don't know whether they use a particular company or what it is, and I know money always is involved, but it was subpar. It was not good.
thank you. Any more? Okay. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Let me get the words out.
Moved.
Lee says yes. Second? All in favor, say